Kyle, just your reaction to this chaos we're seeing.
Look, I mean, the House Republicans are running out of candidates who could possibly be speaker, and I'm running out of adjectives to describe how crazy this all is. I mean, it's like they have the internal conference vote, and like winning means that you lose, because if you win the vote, then you are revealed to not actually have the, basically all the Republicans behind you, and therefore you're eliminated. We've seen it with Jim Jordan. We've seen it with Steve Scalise. We've now seen it with Tom Emmer. So, like, who's it going to be? I mean, it's just crazy, and there's really no end in sight here.
Well, if you don't know, we don't know, Kyle. And I'm pretty sure the Republican conference doesn't know. So do we have a moment in the sun for, does everyone get a nomination? To Mike Dorning's earlier point, just give everybody a chance to do this, get rejected, get it all out of your system, and then cooler heads prevail? Or will we actually be talking about this on November 17th, on the eve of a government shutdown, watching it happen?
I mean, look, there's a phrase popularized by Andrew Brandt, a great sports salary cap analyst. He said, "Deadline spur action." And so the deadline is November 17th, when we have to have some sort of government funding deal, or there's going to be a shutdown. And so we're like, we're getting close to there, but it's still several weeks away. And so, but that is sort of looming in the background as, what we need to look at, because you got to think this is going to end at some point, but how it ends and who ends up holding the gavel is just a complete mystery. And like, I don't think there's any, I don't think there's some secret here as to like, oh, someone knows what's going to happen. I don't think anyone knows.
Right.
I agree with you on that. How much of this will cost votes in November back in these congressmen and women's districts?
My guess is that the memories of this will fade pretty quickly whenever it does end up being resolved. Although, let's imagine a world, maybe there is a situation where like a speaker gets in there with some, tacit or explicit Democratic support. That could spur primaries potentially. Or you have a situation where the House is just like dysfunctional for the next 12 months. And maybe that plays into the sort of larger Democratic argument about Republicans and being unable to run Washington. But, the memory for these things, again, I think is usually pretty short. And so the thing, I just remember like the thing I think about the most is, 10 years ago, we had a government shutdown. That was the sort of only point during that 2014 election cycle when it looked like Democrats might have a chance to maybe save their Senate majority or make some ground in the House. And then, the calendar turned, people moved on, a bunch of other stuff happened, and Republicans ended up having a good election that year. So I just think the memories can be pretty short here.
Kyle, we usually talk about campaign politics when you join us here, and I wonder if it's too early to start connecting the dots to campaign season, because Democrats clearly see a benefit here for their own brand when they can point to Republicans not only unable to govern, but even unable to pick a leader. Does this come out in the wash on the other end of this election cycle?
Look, again, I do think that for as extraordinary as this whole saga is, and basically unprecedented, at least in modern times, once there is a speaker in place, I would expect the focus to move on. And, I think the presidential campaign really ends up setting the tenor for what the election is going to be about in 2024. You do have some important elections coming up in a couple of weeks here, specifically in Virginia, where both chambers of the state legislature are up. And, that's a state that, I mean, there's not a shutdown right now, but, there are a lot of federal employees in a state like Virginia. And so maybe there's some marginal impact there. But again, I just, I know Democrats are going to want to run against Republicans on this. I just don't necessarily know if it's going to really matter all that much, a year from now.
Interesting. Yeah.
Well, when it comes to election news, we want to just end with this news we got at the top of the hour about former chief of staff to the former president, Donald Trump, Mark Meadows, granted immunity in Trump's special counsel probe, according to ABC News. On top of that, earlier today, we did know about Jenna Ellis, Trump's lawyer, pleading guilty. Looks like she struck some sort of agreement. How difficult is this all going to become for the former president as he has an eye squarely on 2024?
I mean, they sure seem to be climbing up the ladder. They're not at Trump yet, but I mean, these plea deals are kind of interesting. And, I struggle with this because here we have all this outstanding legal problems for the former president, and yet he's really, in a general election sense, he's polling better than he did in either this time in 2016 cycle or the 2020 cycle. He's leading his own party's nomination fight by a considerable amount, and yet you have to acknowledge the potential problems here for the president or former president down the line here from these legal matters. And I mean, the guy's just been so Teflon for so long that it's easy to kind of brush it off. But I mean, he's sure seemed like serious developments over the past several days.